Hi guys, you are listening to the Cat with Strength podcast. If you enjoy this show, don't forget to give it a share. Bam Day.
What's going on? How we doing?
Shall
All good?
Yeah, good.
Thanks for coming on the podcast today.
No, thank you, mate. Happy to be here.
One thing we like to do before every episode, question of the day. Katie, you've got a question of the day today. What are you doing?
I had a hair on my trouser, sorry.
Question of the day.
If your friends had a phone call from the police to find out you were arrested, what would the reason of your arresting be?
Oh, savage. I'm a shit drinker.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't get arrested for being a shit drinker, can you?
No, I'd probably do something stupid off the back of being a shit drinker, I'll be honest.
My answer immediately was drink driving, so...
No comment. My old man be watching this. Give me a clip if you heard that.
Might be like tax fraud, isn't it? Like dodging taxes, isn't it?
You're definitely tax evader.
Delete that.
Dave?
What do you want to be, Dave?
No comment.
Dave's like Jamie on Joe Rogan that we've got in the background, yeah. Hashtag show.
Hashtag Joe Rogan, if you're listening, give us a review.
Bam. Main reason why I'm love to get on today, just talk about the business really with Crafty Smugglers and start from the start. Like, how did it all set off for you?
Mum and Dad had coffee shops, a couple in Aberystwyth and one in Swansea, and it's all I've ever known. Thank God I like it because I'm crap at everything else. I loved it from the get-go, and I just thought, cut out the middleman, can I start roasting my own coffee? Long story very short, a very close friend of mine actually owned Crafty Smuggler Coffee. He'd already had it set up in Swansea, and he phoned me one random Thursday night and was like, I'm having a baby, my missus is going to kill me. Do you want to buy the business?
Wow.
And it's literally snowballed from that.
Oh,
So
really?
you decided in a quick decision then whether you're going to take that business on or not?
I was in business with my dad, wasn't I, in Aberystwyth on the promenade there, and we sold out a lot of coffee. And it just crossed my mind, like, why am I paying this coffee supplier X amount of money? Is there any way that I can roast my own? And literally, it was the perfect storm.
And that just
literally. The next day, so he texted me at like 11 o'clock at night, being like, I can't do this, bro. Please, can you help me? The next morning, I flew down to Swansea in the car, met him for a coffee, agreed a fee, bought the business, and then just started roasting my own coffee for mum and dad's companies and myself.
So where was the place in Arbor, sorry?
PD's Diner on the promenade.
Oh, did they have that?
That's been in the family for donkey's years.
Oh, because I think Medina's got that now, is she? Yeah. Oh, cool.
We sold that just after COVID. Then Dad's down the other side of the prom with the hut.
Oh, yes,
and then
yeah.
Mum's in Swansea with Cafe Valance and the Junction then.
I don't really know Swansea, but maybe I'll
Literally all
I'll fly down there as well.
Hospitality.
You need to get down there.
Yeah.
So where are you in Swansea altogether now?
We opened the very first Crafty Smuggler retail side of things. We've always had the wholesale going with the roastery, but first one was in Sandfields. Don't know if anyone will know it. Dave will know it. It's like near the beach, St Helens rugby ground, not far from
I
that.
know St Helens.
Literally nothing. It was a boarded up garage. I don't know what on earth made me think, let's put a coffee shop in there. That was the first one. 10 months later, about a mile away in Uplands, quite like a student central hub. More of like a boozy sort of, plenty of pubs up there, a couple of nightclubs up there. Again, don't know why I did that one, 2 doors away from Starbucks.
Yeah.
I happen to know the landlord. Yeah, I happen to know the landlord, and I sent him like I think a friend of mine must have sent me like the link on Zoopla, and I was like, I know who owns that building. I sent him a text of like a mental offer, not a mental offer, but just being cheeky. And then one of the neighbouring businesses messaged Crafty Smuggler Coffee saying, can't wait to be neighbours. And at this point, I didn't even know.
Really?
I didn't know the offer had been accepted. So within 13 months, I had 2 shops. And
Class.
Literally faking it until you make it.
Oh, yeah.
Literally faking it until you make it.
That.
Winging it as you go. I think I just love being the staff member. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, my passion is honestly like being on the coffee machine, meeting and greeting customers. And it's snowballed quite naturally from there.
That's cool.
It is cool. Everything that you've kind of told me there seems that you kind of do things quite impulsively. Like, you know where you want to get to, but it sounds like when an opportunity has come across your way, you've just kind of jumped on it.
Yeah. But do you know what? Weird that you've mentioned that. I don't really know why I do it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't actually know what my goal is, but I know I am enjoying what I'm doing.
Enjoying the journey.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't tell you why it lines up, but it does seem very organic and natural. from my side. I'm not going at home at night being like, I'm hating this. Like, I love getting up super early in the morning. I'm up at 4 a.m. every day, very similar to you, and no one makes me, but I'm super happy with it. Yeah. So I'm just like kind of rolling with it.
And Crafty Smugglers is your thing, and you're enjoying the journey and where it's going, and you don't even know where the destination is. I really enjoy speaking to business owners and entrepreneurs and people in that industry, and that's one of the reasons why I was really excited to get you on today. I know you've kind of elaborated on it there, but what is your plans for Crafty Smugglers, or are you just winging it as you go?
I'm honestly winging it. I genuinely don't know. I'm not very money orientated. That's not really what excites me, is how many zeros are in the bank. I think it's super important to have like financial freedom, isn't it? I've genuinely got no plan, mate.
We obviously we've decided to stock Crafty Smugglers in the gym, and that's genuinely, obviously I know you beforehand, but that's the main reason for us to get you here, just because it's so nice. Like, it genuinely is literally one of the nicest coffees I've tasted.
Banging coffee.
Genuinely?
Yeah, genuinely. Like, and if any of the millions of listeners or members will listen to this, they'll all agree. Like, how many of our members come in and say they like the coffee?
Yeah, and people just call in now for coffee.
Really?
Yeah, like not even to train, they just call in to get a coffee.
Quite genuine.
I think it's more about the milk and the machine.
Yeah, it must be the milk and the machine and the Lampeter water, I reckon.
Yeah, nice water and Lampeter, yeah.
I really appreciate that, yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that you didn't just buy my coffee because you used to know me, because I don't know if everyone knows, Rhys and I used to kick 10 bells out of each other on the rugby pitch.
I was telling Dave, yeah.
I'm glad you added rugby pitch to that.
Oh no,
it sounded like your
as soon
enemies.
as the final whistle went, it was all hugs and kisses. But
who did you play for though?
I was at Llandovery at the time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I played for Neath.
Yeah.
For probably about 10 years, wasn't it? Like, on and off. Like, you were playing there, I was playing in Neath. We used to play against each other twice a year, and no word of lie, we probably used to smack 10 best of
similar position, similar size.
And now you're coffee besties.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird though, like, we were at each other's throats on the field, but turns out now in hindsight it's probably because we're very similar people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was thinking that on the way up here, isn't it? Like, we're both very competitive, very driven.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Do you know what, right? This is nuts. So when, I can't even remember what it was, but I was talking to Bam about this the other day, and I think I shared something about 8 years ago to do with cattle strength. I think it was like when I started online training or something, and I shared that I was over the moon, that I'd signed someone up from Australia or something like that. It was like quite a big like milestone to hit within the business. And then Bam randomly messaged me back off the back of that, and I can't remember what he said, but he was like, "Oh, can't wait to see where you're going to be in 8 years." And then I obviously replied with that, and then the other day when we opened 2.0, Bam like reshared that message. And he was like, "Told you." And I was like, "Oh, cheers, Bam."
Yeah. I think that's always been like one of my mantras, is like consistency. Like, I'm not a guru at all. I'm not the best coffee roaster in the world, but I just think consistency and being passionate about whatever your product is. And when you, honestly, I've scrolled so many messages up to be like, I'm sure I told Rhys. I think you messaged me something, not negative, but I think you were skeptical. You didn't know what the journey could be. And I think I replied just being like, if you just stick at it, imagine where you'll be.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at this
manifest.
place. Look at this place out here.
I like to manifest
Unreal.
things.
I think it's definitely something to just stick into it slowly but surely, little gains year on year.
Yeah.
And I think people underestimate what they can do in a month, overestimate what they can do in a month, but massively underestimate what they can do in 10 years.
100%. To play devil's advocate on your manifestation comment. Oh, I'm coming for you. Yeah. But it's got to be.
We could be enemies here if you want.
It's got to be with work ethic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that I sit around on my ass going,
100%.
oh, I really want to hit blah, blah, blah online clients. Like, I do graft.
No, 100%.
But I think you've got to graft with positivity, haven't you?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think everyone sees that. I think that's why I'm bringing up the point, you know?
Yeah.
It's all
people think that you get given stuff
100%
given to you, but... Right, so forgetting all that stuff, I want to know about this coffee roasting. How do you do it?
So it's a glorified massive oven.
But I've seen like videos, it goes that thing and it
so
goes...
that's in the cooling tray that you're seeing there. So, yeah, it's already been cooked at that point. But when you say cooked, it's actually more like a drying out process.
Yeah. So where do you buy your beans from?
So I use a broker in London called DR Wakefield. And we just try and source wicked coffee from across the world.
From like Brazil and stuff?
My main three, and to be fair, credit to Dan Kenny who initially started this company. Yeah, we sell a lot of Colombian, El Salvador, and Ethiopian coffee.
Oh, okay.
And then we try and create like a blend.
Yeah.
So in here we got 3 different flavors. So we've got the El Salvador, Colombia, Ethiopia in here. They're all roasted slightly differently.
Yeah.
And then they're put into this blend then as like a specific ratio which creates that unique flavour. So like from those 3 beans you could create hundreds of flavours, isn't it?
Yeah.
By changing the temperatures of the roast, you know, and how much percentages and ratios you're putting into the blend.
Yeah, it's cool. Really interesting.
How much time goes into like the market research side of things, like tasting the coffee and...
Yeah, I go home with massive headaches a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I get a new coffee.
So do I.
So yesterday, I'm not joking, I think this boy had about 4 flat whites. Then he had about 2 cans of Rain, some of James Smith's stuff. And then what's the pre-workout? I had 300 milligrams of coffee.
It's
I had 2
usually
of
coffee.
them.
It's usually coffee.
And then at 7 o'clock yesterday, I think I've had too much caffeine today, Katie. I was like, no shit.
I honestly think you get to a point where it doesn't affect you.
I can actually have a flat white and then go and lie down and have a nap. It does not even...
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I think if you abuse is probably quite a strong word, but I have 0 effect from coffee.
No.
Definitely placebo now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I need a coffee. It'll wake me up. And then I could just go for a nap.
Yeah.
I'm really tempted for one now.
It genuinely is one of my favourite things in life. If someone asked me tomorrow, would you give up alcohol or coffee, or... I'd give up alcohol before coffee any day of the week. There's a lot of things I'd give up before coffee.
Because of, sorry to interrupt if you're going to say something, because of the taste of the coffee or because of the experience of going for coffee with friends?
The both, yeah. The experience.
100%. That's what it's all about. I think that's my biggest enjoyment in my job, is like the experience of people coming to one of my premises and maybe asking afterwards, like, where'd you get your coffee from? Who roasts your coffee? Or just being like, thank you, we've had a lovely afternoon. Just little things like that. You know?
I've got a business proposition for him.
I've got a business.
Do you want to rent a restaurant called The Hungry Ram?
Where is that? Why have I heard of that?
It's my restaurant, but I'm closing at the end of the year and it's going up for lease.
Where is it?
Penny, about 20-minute drive from here, in between Albreron and Tregaron.
Any good coffee shops nearby?
No, nothing. Actually, nothing anywhere near.
Okay.
I want to do a farm shop, you see.
Bam's very impressive.
I kind of thought, right, farm shop vibes, no primary school. It's already got a kitchen kitted out, bar kitted out. It's got a coffee machine. I shout out to Pat from Cardigan. I get my coffee from her. She does me a little label, personalised.
Oh, you do private label through Tivy Coffee?
Not Tivy, it's through... I'd have to look it up, I can't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just not... The whole hospitality industry with regards to food and stuff is just... Yeah, so I've done it for 7 years and made the decision that after Christmas we're closing.
Do you fully want to leave, or do you want a business partner to come in so you're delegating?
I knew this would be...
Do you know what I mean?
Whoop whoop, exclusive!
What was that word?
Manifest. No, basically, it's going up for lease, and when the estate agents were taking me around yesterday, we were talking about farm shop, and they sort of resold it back to me, and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing leasing this shit out?
Do you know anyone with a farm?
Rhys?
No, genuinely, I think that sounds sick. I've definitely heard of the Hungry Ram.
Yeah, so like Gareth would have been.
Yeah.
So I was in primary school with him.
This is a bit of an exclusive as well. He's desperate to get out of his current career. Maybe he's the man you need to speak to. Maybe I can...
Morgan and Davis, retract.
5-year lease, let's go.
It went on Facebook this morning, actually, so I haven't looked yet if it's had anything. But yeah, I do agree with you about the whole experience side of things. I love people coming into the restaurant and just having a nice time. And all my staff are like proper nice... friendly local girls that just give people a nice time. That
is the product as well.
Yeah.
Forget how your flat white looks and tastes.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The product.
Oh yeah, if you've got average-ish food, and I don't mean that our food's average or your coffee's average, but if you've got great service and like good food, but great service makes someone's experience a lot better.
That is 99% of the experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you guys recruit in your businesses or anything like that, but if anyone messaged me for a job, because I'm in quite a studenty area, and students, they'd love to have a little barista job part-time. I get so many applicants, and I just say, come down and grab a flat white with me, because I think just from that first minute of good morning, I'm Lucy, I'm like, yeah,
Lucy.
Actually, shout out Lucy. I have lost to Lucy. She's gone traveling to Australia, but just that interaction, you can see straight away how someone is.
100%.
I think people buy from people, do they? Instead of actually buying a product, whether it's Crafty Smugglers or a gym membership in Cattle Strength, I think people buy from people. Like they get to know people online through social media, and
your customers end up like your family.
Your friends,
Your friend,
and the right staff do as well.
Oh yeah, I'm gutted to be losing my staff. Do you know?
I probably crossed the line a little bit in terms of I see them as friends and family, and then I take it super personal. Then if they happen to phone in sick, bless them, I'm like, oh god, they might well be fully sick, but I'm like, God,
I know.
After everything I've done for you,
I know.
It's shocking.
It's hard, isn't it? Such a balance.
It's the
really
balance between
difficult.
having a family business and trying to,
It's difficult when because I go out with the girls, like Christmas party. I, really go for it on the wine with them, and I'm one of them, and then it is hard, that grey area. It's a bit like you here, like we're all self-employed for you, and then I've got staff, you got staff, but it's really difficult, that grey area, because you've got to realise I'm the boss when I'm in work, or you're the boss here. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it's quite tricky to be
is it our faults for not setting better boundaries when we are being that friend,
Too
and
nice.
we are being that big brother?
I think it all comes down to ownership as a business owner. Like with me, I'm quite lucky. My wife reins me in a bit. So Katie, my wife, will tell me what are you doing? Because she'll just tell me you're the boss now. You need to
be the boss.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, not just with staff, but with members as well. I might catch myself talking to a member of the gym at 10 o'clock at night about something proper trivial, unnecessary. And he's like, please switch off. What are you doing?
But then again, I had the estate agent texting me at 10:30 last night, telling with the photos, saying, "Do you think this advert's all right to go on in the morning?" And I was like, I texted Max, I'm surprised we're still awake. It was Leon, and he was like, "Oh, this is the only chance I get for a bit of peace and quiet." So I think if you run a business yourself, that's just natural. You cannot switch off. I can't switch off.
Yeah.
It's all I've ever known, and I think probably for my partner now, it's probably quite hard to take, because I am on the sofa like you, messaging someone about how to set up their Sage coffee machine at home. There's no monetary value to that conversation. I just want to make sure she's making nice coffee at home. Do you know what I mean?
Because you're passionate.
You're providing value as a business. It's a job, isn't it?
Yeah, but do I want to have 28 holiday days a year? Do you know what I mean?
Was that going into
I would want to be employed. I couldn't.
You do want to be employed?
No, I don't. I could never be employed.
Of course, my sister's going to be cross at me here, but I've always looked at the teacher model, and the opposite to that is what I want in terms of when I can go on holiday, what I can potentially earn to support hopefully a future family one day. I don't want any of that to have a cap on it, or to have a curriculum around it. And
I think it's different for everyone, isn't it? I think it really suits a huge percentage of the population, but then I think it massively doesn't suit the other percentage of the population. I think I think you have to have quite a creative intellect, as an entrepreneur, and it only suits certain kind of people.
Yeah.
I'm also not smart enough either. I'm not throwing shade on myself here.
Same.
I was never very. I wasn't good in school. I'm not very intellectual. Thank God, got a bit of hard work in me, and I do love what I do.
I know that you like a book as well, similar to myself. But did you read in school?
No.
No, same.
You couldn't have paid me to sit down for an hour.
Yeah.
I'll listen to a 3-hour podcast.
I know. I'm exactly the same. And
Wild.
I pinch myself sometimes, finding myself reading in bed some random book about something, that most people wouldn't find important. But
Oh, I can't. I'm the ADHD.
Hats off to the people that when we were back in school that were doing your ASs, your A levels, they went on to uni to be a GP or something. The amount of time and energy and effort they put into wild, isn't it?
But then I think they were passionate about that, weren't they? Whereas you're passionate about coffee and Crafty Smuggler.
Sam Soul. I always look at Sam Soul to an example, and to be fair to him, although we graft within our self-employed businesses, he's grafted to be a GP. Fair play.
Yeah, I just feel that I've always tried to be making sure that my staff don't feel like they're just a number, and I think I've made quite a nice boss. But then that's why I could never be employed, because I wouldn't want to just be a number to someone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like disposable, replaceable. That's why I feel that I work so hard on myself to try. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
You know, if you're just a number at the end of the day to some people. I'm not saying every place, but you are in some places.
I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. But then with that number probably comes like the security of like, I know my holiday pays.
Yeah.
You know, I know if I struggle with my mental health or have any sicknesses, then I'm covered for my sick pays. You know, there's probably get some sort of guarantees
Yeah,
of
but
that.
pension.
Whereas we all go to work not knowing if we're going to
I know.
earn enough money to cover our costs. Hopefully our work ethic gets us through that zone. But
Yeah, like if I take a day off from coaching or PT in here, I earn zero money. But then, do I want to be told that I only have 28 days holiday I'm allowed to have in a whole year?
yeah, there's a balance.
That number for me just...
Yeah, but you know when
I don't go on holiday anyway.
Yeah, but if you were on holiday and you're checking your phone all the
Yeah, I
time,
know,
and
I
is
know.
that, you know?
Yeah, it's...
I heard the other day something along the lines of being an entrepreneur, you get to choose the 120 hours that you want to work every week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's
Yeah.
good.
That
I
literally
wouldn't change
is
it for the world, would you?
No.
What would back to them, Bam? What would you change from your journey, like over the last sort of 10, 15 years? Like, what have you done that you think, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that, I probably would have changed?
Do you know what? I do have I didn't think about it for a long time. Back in the rugby days, probably. When I started, I had a little contract with Scarlets, didn't I? Very similar to you with the Ospreys, and I felt like I didn't grab it with both hands. I felt like I'm probably a bit. I'm super determined with business and super determined with the coffee side of things, but I didn't have that with my sporting career.
Yeah,
and I felt like I look back at times now when I was on the pitch with like some wicked players, isn't it? You know, that have really made a massive career for themselves and worked their ass off. I was too soft. I kind of wish I'd grabbed my sporting career with both hands more. That's probably my biggest regret.
I'll be honest, and like I'm not going to name any names here now, but like I've, like yourself, played in amongst a lot of professional players who are doing really, really well now. I think, like, you know, when we were all playing together, like, you were better than a lot of those boys. Do you know? And I like to think that I was better than some of those as well, dude.
I know, I know what you mean. I don't know if I was good enough, but I definitely could have worked harder to have tried, you know? Instead, I don't know. That's my biggest regret.
Yeah.
Do you feel that about rugby?
A little bit. I don't think I enjoyed it enough, to be honest with you. Like, I really enjoyed playing in, like, the semi-pro level and Neath. But then I had a chance with the Ospreys. I think I was with them for like 6 months, and I went to Belgium with them and things like that, and I had a taste of that professional life, and I genuinely didn't enjoy it that much.
Maybe that's what it boils down to. Maybe we didn't give it that sort of energy that it required, because it wasn't actually not our calling, but it wasn't what really lit the fire in us.
I definitely could have worked harder, 100%. But yeah, I just didn't enjoy it. Like, I was actually dreading going. One, it was a hell of a drive down to Llandasi.
Oh mate, the miles we used to do.
Yeah,
do you remember the hydration checks? Did Ospreys used to do it?
No.
So you have to turn up and do like a check-in, and if your hydration levels weren't good enough, so I'd be like waking up at Aberystwyth at 3 o'clock in the morning to drink enough water to make sure I could train that day.
Yeah, we had to weigh, so I'm guessing that's what they were doing.
Yeah,
were
probably similar, yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't for me. And then, say we're playing, the Ospreys were playing Clermont on a Saturday. Like, I'd be with the Shags then and all the bin men, like, running the Clermont
Tesco team.
Yeah, the Tesco team, yeah. And then we'd be running the Clermont plays. So we're learning that what Clermont are doing, like, whether they're doing, like, a...
Oh, yeah,
you know, like a drive insert into a carry.
Would it be on a Tuesday, yeah?
Yeah, and then you get fucking drilled by, like, Sam Underhill was playing for the Ospreys back then, and he was coming off the line and just, like, taking my head off every time. Yeah, and then you'd play, and then you'd watch video on a Tuesday and Monday. And then you know you've done something wrong in the video, and the coach is pulling you up and saying, I'm just going to bring this clip up now. And you know what's coming. The coach is like, Rhys, what the fuck are you doing here? And then
you probably used to work a lot then as well, didn't you? You were working on the farm and stuff then, and driving back and forth to here.
Yeah, and trying to set this up as well.
Yeah.
It was crazy time looking back. But again, you wouldn't change it for the world. You
stuck at it a lot longer than I did.
I was fit back then, though. I'm not fitter then, though.
Really?
I remember... Yeah. I remember, one day, I think we were shearing sheep all day. I think I shore like 150 sheep, which back then for me was quite a lot. And it was pre-season, so I'd go from shearing sheep down. And we had Robinson Taylor came in then to be the fitness coach, who's actually the fitness coach with the Welsh rugby team now. And one of his sessions was fucking horrendous. Like, we were doing like a yo-yo test, and then we did something else, and all in a day's work.
Yeah, I haven't done shearing out in the sun all day. I couldn't have done
And I was back in work then at 5 the next day. Whereas now I've got the life of Riley a little bit. I've got time to train and
got all day. Thursday off.
Yeah, all day Thursday off.
And Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, well, these are one-offs now.
Yeah.
I've had 3 days off since opening, I'll be honest.
I'm joking.
But,
Whilst we're on the topic of opening, the facility looks unreal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's wild.
yeah, no, it's a long time coming, I think. It hasn't happened
Start
overnight.
to finish, how long are we talking? Has it been years in the planning, is it?
Yeah, years in the planning,
The actual
yeah.
construction of it?
From actually getting planning permission or applying to get planning permission, because that took a while. Probably about 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And then just trying to secure finances and all that jazz. And
How many times along the way have you had the conversation with yourself, like, am I doing the right thing here?
even when we opened, I still didn't.
First week.
It's mad, isn't it?
I'll be honest with you, I opened and I thought I'd done the wrong thing. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I've overcooked it a bit.
That was just a feeling of overwhelming.
It's weird. And there's so much more stress that comes with obviously running a big, yourself.
Yeah, massive.
You just take in so much more stress and responsibility on. And I think I spoke to another business owner about this the other day, and he's like expanded his. He's a contractor in the agricultural world. You probably know him. I better not name him just in case he doesn't want to be named. But he's from Talabont, and
I know.
he was saying like he's grown his business, and he's so busy at work. Right? He's got a headset, and he just walks around with a headset all the
on the
time.
phone all day.
Always on his phone, always talking to customers and potential customers. And he's saying like, financially, I'm in the same place as I was when I first started, just me and my tractor, like, going
Yeah.
around. But he's built this business now, he's probably got like 16 members of staff, one more, and like, huge business, like, you're talking hundreds of £1,000s worth of equipment. And he's saying,
But-
you're financially earning the same, just your net values
Yeah,
more.
the margin is the same as when it was just him and his van. I think you find a lot of contractors that do that, your plumbers, your carpenters, your electricians, they get a fleet and they go, hang on, my margin was the same when it was me and my transit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like, car tractor's a bit like that in a way. Like when it was just me coaching in the shed,
Yeah.
doing like no overheads.
So, well, that's what is it? Why are we doing it then? I think that to myself all the time.
Yeah. And
Thanks.
you love it, yeah.
I listened to Chris Williamson and Hormozy the other day, and I think Hormozy said, I might be quoting this wrong, I hope I'm not. I think it's like, what if the goal is just to work hard? Like, you're just trusting that by working hard, you'll have what you want from it,
Yeah.
whether that be the Ferrari or to be able to walk down the beach with your dogs and your missus and your kids.
Yeah.
But if the goal is just to work hard, I found a lot of peace in that because...
I think he rubs a lot of people up the wrong way, because I've tried like pushing him on to some people. Like I was speaking to my friend the other day, and I've read $1 million leads and $1 million offers. I love Alex Hormozy, I'm a big fan. And but I've tried pushing him on some of my friends, and a lot of my friends hate him because he just rubs chippies on. He rubs people up the wrong. Yeah, he rubs people up the wrong way because
Shout out,
he just
Chippy.
he promotes like just that enjoy work, like
Yeah.
work, and
I think that does piss people off, doesn't it?
because people don't want to work.
No, the whole like
4-hour work week mentality.
yeah, or like why so happy in work? Like,
Yeah, like I get people come up to me here and say, how does Mike, my husband, how does Mike feel that you're here all the time? And I say, fine. Well, they'll say the same to me in the Ram. And I said, like, about closing the restaurant, I said to him, it'd be quite nice because we might have a few weekends. And he was like, you'll still fill it with something else.
yeah,
As in work related, whether it be horses or whether it be the gym or whether it be whatever. I think it's like a weird addiction, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're always going to get a comment of someone who doesn't agree with how you live your life, but that's them problem,
Yeah.
not your problem.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
entirely, yeah. Like,
And it's all about balance, isn't it? Like what's
Yeah.
right for Rhys might not be right for me,
Yeah.
isn't it? And vice versa.
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
So you guys have. Is your family involved in the business? Do you work with does Katie work here?
Yeah.
I know
yeah.
you just mentioned you work with your partner as well. How do you find that?
That was like for me, like one of the biggest goals, to be honest, with opening this space was to be able to get my family involved.
Yeah.
Because before it was just me, Katie. No, it would be in like in the sides, etc. But she's fully involved now. She's like a member of staff. And then I'm hoping like my kids, Harry and Jack, then and Lola will be able to take on, especially Harry. Do you know what I mean? But
Set an amazing platform for them.
But yeah, that's. I think she's a massive piece of the jigsaw, to be honest. Like for me to be able to work hard.
Yeah.
She needs to, but she's able to support that. Then she's given up a lot to be able to.
That's
for
awesome.
us to be, yeah.
What about working in hospitality with your husband?
Oh, I don't work with him.
No.
No, he no, he does like the paperwork
More the
side
admin
at
side.
home. Yeah, he's not, shall we say, a hospitality kind of guy. It's not that he's just quite shy and he's quite private, whereas I'm welcoming and
introvert, extrovert.
Yeah, we are very, very, very opposite. But yeah, we used to train horses full time together, like 15, 20 race horses. So I worked with him on and off.
Together.
Yeah, and I think it takes a certain kind of person. Like, he calms me down. I'd say Katie's the same for you. It's like, I couldn't be with someone that was like me, because we'd just flit around all different topics all day. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like, if I hang out with Rhys, for example, we're just like two feral children. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're quite similar, busy.
Big baby.
Right.
He's a big child.
He knows me from my rugby.
Yeah,
I used to like run around the rugby pitch
right.
pretending to be hard for 80 minutes. So
It feels weird actually
Yeah.
having this conversation with Dave here, because Dave will remember me being on Aberystwyth Promenade as a fat 10-year-old when Dave was coming out of the surf. It's all I've ever known is just coffee shops, and Dave would have
And
known me.
Dave.
Yeah, Dave would have seen the passion in me from a young age.
Oh, that's so good. You've been like, well, it's like you're growing and you're successful and stuff. Really good.
Shout out to my mum and dad. It's literally all I've ever known. Fair play. The work ethic they've instilled in me. Like, my dad, my mum, they graft us.
yeah.
For sure. I don't know how they did it, but fair play.
Do they build like PDs from the ground? Like, what?
So long story. I don't know if you guys would remember it. I think Dave's family might remember it, but the King's Hall arcade on the corner. Do you know where Barravin is now?
Yeah, that
used to be like an amusements arcade and almost like a concert hall as well. And that is kind of like where the Dave family started in Aberystwyth. Yeah.
So what does PD stand for?
It was actually Philippa and David, my auntie and my dad then. It's got nothing to do with my initials. But yeah, it's just always been in the family. I think way back in the day, it was a tiny little horrible blue hot dog van. Yeah. It's just
grown and grown.
That prom has like got massive history with sort of, I don't know, it's all I've ever known, isn't it? Yeah, it's wicked. I love Aber, special place, Aberystwyth.
Well, that's why we moved to this area, because my dad used to holiday in Aberystwyth, and I've got a little photo of my dad on Aber prom.
Really?
Yeah, from when he was like 4.
It's so popular, isn't it, this coastline?
Boys love PDs. Every time I used to go up to Aber, never go up as much anymore, but obviously still good friends with all the rugby boys in Aber, and every time I go up, PDs. Especially when you were working there. Not as much as they don't go as much.
I think the menus change and stuff, but change. A lot of people don't like change, but change is good.
But I think people are going there because of you as well, when they were like, oh, go see Bam.
Yeah.
PDs.
Yeah, cheap flat white.
What
Extra chicken in the panini because I'm a rugby boy.
What does a typical day in the life of Bam Day look like?
Typical day, I love my mornings. I don't know why. Everyone always asks me why I get up so early. It's just that couple of hours of peace and quiet where the phone's not ringing. Yeah. You know? I'm obsessed with my dog. I don't have any children, but Harry the dog is my life.
What dog is it?
He's a little Springer Spaniel. Up super early, 4 o'clock, go and check both the cafes. I happen to live very close to the 2 in Swansea. Go and bake off, go get the machine on, chuck a podcast on, and go get my steps in. And just kind of like, I've kind of spoken about this recently with my barber. I think that's my therapy, you know?
Yeah.
Like my barber said to me the other day, like, I've been struggling with my anxiety recently, and I was like, it's all good. I was like, why do you think I'm up? Because he always comments about why I'm up so early. I'm like, every day that is me, like, not fighting like the devil on my shoulder, but just putting things right in my head, you know, just having that couple of hours. So that's my dream start to a day. Get up early, get out with the dog, get some coffees in, and just kind of ground myself for the day.
The alternative would be like waking up half an hour before you get to work, check your phone, put out about 15 fires, probably.
Yeah.
Stress.
Can't do that.
Slam a coffee.
I'm a control freak, I think, but not negatively, but probably micromanage a little bit too much. But I do feel like there's a certain amount of like organisation that can lead to being successful with that sort of control freakness, you know? Yeah. Control freak makes it sound bad, but I just like to be, I would be riddled with anxiety if I got up 10 minutes before my shift, you know? There'd be a queue out the door for starters, my phone would be ringing.
So you know that, you said earlier, you quite impulsively jumped on the chance to open another coffee shop 2 doors down from Starbucks. Still going strong?
That one I didn't even enter my head when I was in the negotiations of prices for that one, that Starbucks was there, and if I'm being brutally honest, I feel like it's a completely different product. Yeah. I really, really do, and I think people are starting to come around to the difference, like specialty coffee and chain coffee. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I think something shifted in COVID with coffee. Everyone started buying these machines at home because they started working from home. And I don't know about up this neck of the woods, but there's a lot more specialty coffee shops in South Wales now.
I'd far rather support a independent person than Starbucks.
Yeah, 100%.
Costa.
But
Shout
you know,
out
like-
if either of them are listening.
When I go to a city, I look for a coffee shop. One of the first things I do.
Yeah, go on
Yeah.
Google
And then
Maps.
you look around, you see a Costa, you're like, oh fuck. And then you keep walking, Cafe Nero, oh fuck. And then
You know, they've got their place. I class them as like a convenience coffee now.
Yeah.
I class them as like a convenience coffee, and then, you know, if you're on your Google Maps, like you've just popped up to Cardiff for the day, like let's have a look what's around, what local
Sit down coffee,
roasteries,
yeah.
who's doing like a batch brew or
Yeah.
a V60. You know, like I think one of the first ones to kind of come up this neck of the woods, which were definitely on my radar, and I think their product's unreal, is Crust.
Oh yeah.
Crust and Cardigan.
Yeah.
You know, I think they were the
And
sort
good
of
food.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say like this neck of the woods is like behind South Wales and your Swanseas and your Cardiffs, but I think it's definitely trickling down this way where, you know, you're having like specialty coffee, your granola bowls, you know, the cafe
This-
game is changing.
What's it? He comes trains here CrossFit. I used to train CrossFit Abba with him. He's
Steph Walker?
Steph, yeah.
Yeah, he's in working with Cold Town.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I know Steph.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's friends with Gareth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's about my brother's age in school.
Well, Cold Town
Yeah.
are the bee's knees of what I'm trying to
Yeah.
do. Although I'm only a little family business and it's just me, they are.
I'd say it's very similar, but
Yeah.
I've got to say I do enjoy a Crafty Smuggler.
Yeah. I've got to say, though, I do agree with you, the whole breakfast/brunch thing. Like, I lived in Oz on and off for a bit, and my husband in New Zealand, and brunch is like such a big thing down there, like coffee and brunch.
I think that's where I fell in love with it.
Yeah, and I would far rather go out for a brunch than go out for dinner.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have a Bloody Mary at brunch,
You keep
obviously.
on bringing up this drinking problem you've got.
First step is to talk about it, Katie.
Well, no, actually, I don't drink in the weekdays anymore.
Good, well,
Wow.
No, but like what I'm saying is, I'd far rather go for a brunch and have a nice coffee
Oh, mate.
and have
They-
breakfast food than
They do it properly over there, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah.
You've been, haven't you?
Nah, I
You haven't
haven't.
been down there?
No.
I had a chance to go to New Zealand for rugby once.
Yeah.
Bombed it. and I
you
bottled
missed
it.
right out.
Did I?
Yeah, it's
I
banging.
think I tried basing Crafty Smuggler's style of coffee on Australian and New
Yeah.
Zealand style coffee.
They
for
know how
sure.
to make coffee
Yeah,
properly.
very, very
Yeah.
smooth. They don't not burn in the
No.
milk. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like coffee run club thing that you're going on.
Yes, mate.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I think they've been all the rage, haven't they? I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys have probably seen, but Represent obviously the clothing brand,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like, I don't
I've
watch.
listened to a few of his podcasts. They're
Yeah,
very good.
Boys.
George.
yeah.
George.
Like
George.
Ellen George's
Yeah.
Social run club's unreal, and literally the only word that matters there is social. Literally, you can walk it backwards on your hands if you want to. And I think 99% of people are coming for a pan of chocolate and a chat afterwards. This week,
They have started in Baravan doing one. I can't remember who it is.
oh, there
that's
is an
running it.
ABBA-based one. Yeah.
What boy was it? Oh, do you know Chris Jones? His dad's a copper. He started doing it, and
I think that
they
just
go enter
epitomises
Baravan.
like the community. Like you guys have a
Yeah.
massive community here, and I think that's just like a lovely addition to the coffee shop. Is just people coming down for a chat. Actually, the one just gone this Sunday, I was speaking to a lady that I hadn't recognised before. I definitely haven't seen her in the coffee shops before, so I just was like, "Hello, I'm Bam," and she was like, "Oh, I moved down from Manchester yesterday, and I saw this on Instagram." That is literally what it's all about.
Oh, that's
She was
so
like, I
cute.
don't drive. I'm on Bay Campus, which for those of you who don't know, that's like 6-7 miles from my coffee shop and a pain in the ass to get to if you don't drive. But Sunday morning, she's got up and she actually cycled to the run club because she'd moved down 48 hours before. Like, for me, that's like the biggest compliment ever, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
If I lived closer, I'd be coming every Sunday, I think.
Yeah, it's cool.
Or you could have to start one down in Wellenbach, up in Wellenbach.
I wouldn't mind.
Rugby wrap.
I wouldn't mind getting Crafty Smuggler back up this way because it's.
Well, I tell you, I think you had a phone call the other day off my mate Ben Atkins.
I have sent some coffee to
Have
that
you?
gentleman. Yeah.
They're a class family.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
Shout
nice
out
people.
Atkins Eggs.
If you're
you have any-
listening, leave us a nice review.
Any space for me to put a shipping container out here with a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
coffee shop? Or what?
Yeah, we'll have to sort it out.
Yeah. We've just put a shipping container in MacArthur Glen
Oh,
in
I
Bridge
saw
End.
that on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Talk to me about that then. Did you buy that container and then kit it out, or did you buy it fully kitted out?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we bought it from a company up in Liverpool where we've just put a cafe inside it, really.
Class.
Me and my business partner, Antonio, from the Cutch, somehow we managed to get a pitch up in MacArthur Glenbridge End, literally outside the Lint store, which is outrageous.
How'd you get that pitch?
That is so.
I don't know. There was a few checks, like, can you send us? Yeah, can you send us your brand in? Can we have a look at your social media? I don't think they just hand them out to anyone. So that was like really nice to know that we kind of met that criteria. And they had a big part to say in like the design of it, like what's your logo looking like, what's your menu going to look like?
They?
Yeah.
Next stop is what's the one down?
Bicester.
Next stop.
So they're all
Bicester.
the same, aren't they? They're all the MacArthur Glen brand.
They're all Cheshire Oaks.
It's
they're all the same.
definitely nice to have like the foot through the door there.
Yeah.
We have kind of asked a few questions.
Because if you could get like Cheshire Oaks or Bicester.
I'm not just saying this because you're on the podcast. You've got a really good brand. I really think it could fly.
I don't think I'm doing anything crazy. I don't want to not please buy my coffee, but I just think I'm just roasting really fresh coffee. Like,
well, I will tell you now, Bam, that when we close the RAM, because I have coffee beans unlimited at the moment, obviously, because I just take them, I will switch on to yours.
Really
There's a compliment.
Rhys is on a discounted price, so don't expect
I'll buy it through Rhys.
Okay. Sub through.
If he was called Cat Strength 10, you get to Any plans to not move away from coffee, but to bring anything else in? So obviously tea or anything like that, you're just going to stick with coffee?
Just coffee, yeah, absolutely. I am obsessed with it. I love coffee. The next plans would be I've just got a new unit in Llansamlet, big enough to add a couple of extra roasters. So I've only got like a 20 kilogram roaster now. So I'd like to kind of get a big boy in there and start pushing out some numbers.
So how many staff do you have?
It's between so I got the Uplands coffee shop, the Sandfords coffee shop, a business partner in the MacArthur Glen site, and then the coffee roasting side of things, maybe 20 all in.
That's it?
Yeah.
Including all the baristas?
Yeah.
It's quite a lot, isn't it?
Not really. It's got two cafes on the unit.
3 cafes open, and then the wholesale operation in Llansamlet then.
That's a lot.
That's why I don't sleep.
Right. So you go around all of them every day?
Yeah, 2 of them are super close together. The MacArthur Glen site is a bit of a new thing, and that has been challenging between me and my business partner, like who's going to operate that. Yeah.
Because how far would MacArthur Glen be from where you are?
It's about a 40-minute drive.
Yeah.
About 3 hours on a Friday night.
Have you got a good bookkeeper? Or do you do all the payroll?
That is...
Do you do all the payroll?
No, not at all.
Oh.
Eddie Allchurch accountants.
So
I got wicked
okay,
accountants.
Yeah, good.
Do you know what? Now that you said that, you're making me question whether that's enough. No, it's all good.
Well, no, if you're happy, don't go by my tips. I'm closing my restaurant, for fuck's sake.
We're reopening it as Crafty Smuggler Coffee. Crafty Smuggler Coffee and brunch.
Brunch.
That's a good little contract to have, isn't it, that MacArthur Glen? There's a lot of traffic coming through.
Hell yeah.
Christmas coming up?
I've already heard Mariah Carey 17,000 times.
So have we keep...
The decks are up and the music's on.
We keep... What we like to do with Alice is coaching. We like to put it on full blast when she's explaining her workout. We've been doing it since we've opened.
I'm a bit of a Grinch. Are you doing anything special up here for Christmas?
Yeah, we've got this Carter Strength jumper's got a Christmas decoration on it somewhere around here.
What are you doing on the 6th of December, Bob?
Cattle Strength Christmas party.
I was just about to say, I've got a Cattle Strength Christmas party. Come down, yeah. What is it, a Friday?
Yeah.
Is it a Friday?
You come down, Dave?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The night of the year.
I'm not drinking.
We've got awards.
I think that'll be a good thing, judging from what I've heard.
Yeah, because you don't drink on weeknights, do you? We're going to have awards for like members. So like we'll have to give out Crafty Smuggler coffee or something for the most energetic.
Yeah, let's do a gift set or something.
Yeah.
Most energetic member can get. Most energy, or like the laziest member who could do with caffeine or something. Just give them like
you can't do that.
No,
you can't be negative. It's all positive.
We used to have, right, and I swear by this, when I was playing for Neath, you know what that was like. I think we won one game one season. We had a good bunch of players, just couldn't win a game. Anyway, we used to have a Sappuccino club. And every Thursday before training, the boys would get together, have this Sappuccino club where we have a cappuccino, basically just a sap.
Just fly in on coaches and game plans.
How shit everything is, Garth Llewellyn was coaching us at the time. He was, I love Garth Llewellyn a bit, but I don't think he could coach a fish to swim like when he was
Shots fired.
Nah, but yeah, we just this like kick off about the coaching and what he was trying to get us doing and things. But having that sap before training was like the most energizing thing you could do to a team, because you turn up to training then everything's off your chest.
Yeah.
You'd actually like buy
Maybe
into
we
training.
should do. Maybe we should do that in our staff meeting.
Yeah.
Then you won't walk out.
Just like yeah.
How many staff are in cattle strength?
Well, we're up to 5. Is it 5? I don't even
Well,
know.
you don't employ anyone, do you?
Well, my wife's
You're-
employed.
apart from Kate, obviously, but
Yeah.
I don't count her as. Does that make sense? She's just like the owner. Like
Yeah.
me,
Myself.
Alice, Owen, and Cameron coach as well as Rhys.
I think I find that the hardest part of running a business is managing the staff. Not because I have bad staff, just because you don't want anyone in the environment that doesn't want to be there as well. So ultimately,
No.
like even if you're putting yourself in a position where you don't have the right staff or good enough staff or enough staff to cover the rota, you don't want anyone that's not...
You don't need an energy vampire. No.
You don't need anyone from Sappuccino Club
No.
in your
No, because
in your
it just
workforce.
brings everyone down. And yeah, I really agree with that statement.
It's hard.
Massively.
It's been a bit of a steep learning curve for me over the years, but I think it's just definitely something like a big work on, trying to like a big focus for me. Yeah, but it's hard. I think like it comes with time. Like you've got more time in the game when it comes to dealing with staff and things like that. It's all quite new to
Only
me.
because of mum and dad. I tell you, WhatsApp groups are life changing.
Yeah, but you've
Yeah.
grown up in a... Like I grew up with my mum and dad running their own sales marketing magazine, so I sort of grew up with my mum and dad as self-employed, like seeing how things worked professionally. So I think if you've grown up in that environment, same like your parents, like your dad running the family and everything, if you see people do hard work and earning money for themselves, does that make sense? It's very different to just getting up and going to work employed.
Yeah.
Because if it falls on you, isn't it? If you don't do it, you don't make money. So
Have you got any plans for expansion of cattle strength?
Man, I've got to bring myself back sometimes. I've
Yeah.
got a list on my phone of things I'd like to do. Do you know what I'd like to do, right? And this is the first time I've like put this out there into the real world. I don't think I told you, which is just me. Yeah, me and Katie are spoken about it. Like long term, I'd love to have a coffee shop. Okay, relatively local. So like whether it's on the farm or something like that, you know, so it still aligns with.
What's the matter?
it's just your ears are freaking like.
No.
On like you know like so still in line with my values and what I try and promote, but the big but, have it run by Harry predominantly, and have kids or young adults with additional needs working there, so like
That's awesome.
and call it like the upside down coffee shop or the downside up. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to do something
Mate,
like
let's
that.
get that ball rolling.
You have said that about
I have, yeah. Sorry, but it's
That's
very,
class.
yeah. I'm gonna have the upside down coffee shop. So don't steal my idea if anyone else. No,
Harry's
just,
patterning that. That's
Yeah.
always love that.
I can imagine a coffee shop in Aberdeen or something, run not just young adults with Down syndrome, but any additional learning needs.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be quite a cool space. Parting advice, Bam, with the podcast. What advice would you give as an entrepreneur who's smashing it? What advice would you give to a young entrepreneur who is starting off in business?
Just
Just on the spot.
without thinking too much about it, just whatever the goal is, whatever your product is, just stick at it. Literally, I wish someone told me, I was thinking about this on the way up here as well, I just wish someone told me that at like 21 to just like be consistent and just don't give up. Like, you know those self-doubt conversations you have with yourself all the time? Like, just, that's normal. That's completely normal. Don't worry, you're on the right path. I wish someone told me that younger. Keep going every single day. That would be my only advice.
A bit emotional.
Bam, thanks for the podcast.
Thank you guys. Really
Thanks,
appreciate
Bam.
it.
Nice
Yeah,
to
it was
meet
awesome.
you.
Nice to meet you.